If you know middle school girls, I wouldn't even just say middle school, I'd say high school too. If you know middle school and high school girls, you know that they're all hairstylists and makeup artists, so on and so forth. A lot of them actually do hair for money on the side. So if I need my hair taken out and my school's hairstylists are willing to do it, I'm going to let them do their thing every single time. It's not like they were held at gunpoint and forced to do this. They wanted to help me. I'm gonna make you look foolish for a second time. I let my students paint my nails before. The student that you see in this video has goals and aspirations to be a nail tech. Not only does she do nails, she does hair, makeup, she's a dancer, super intelligent. She's pretty much a jack of all trades. Since that's the homie, she came up and saw my nails looking a little rough, and she decided she wanted to give me a fresh, clear coat.
I have many thoughts about this situation, and I'm sure some people are going to strongly disagree with what I'm going to say, but hey, that's the beauty of YouTube. Everyone gets the ability to share their opinion. I think that this is incredibly inappropriate. I do. I think it's incredibly inappropriate for you as a male teacher to be encouraging or allowing your students to be physically in contact with you like this. I think it's great to encourage little girls who say that they want to, grow up and be a nail tech or a hairstylist, but I don't think that means you need to now let them use you as a practice subject.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start clearing some people. Start off with this gentleman right here. You're letting your daughters play in a grown man's head. God forbid I had kids, but if I had a daughter with a teacher like myself, with a good heart, good spirit, sound mind, no, I would not mind if they took his hair out. That's what little girls like to do. They like to do hair and do nails and makeup. I have 5 little sisters. You bet your ass I done had a wig on my head before, had a whole lace front. I done got my nails painted, eyebrows done. Bro, this is what they do. As a father, I would even let my daughter do those things. Like if she wanted to paint my nails pink, or freaking put a wig on me, or do my hair, or put makeup on me, I'm going to do every single one of those things. You know why? Because I'm secure in my masculinity.
I don't like the comparison of fathers doing that with their daughters to a teacher doing that with his students. Those are 2 completely different things in my opinion. A father is well within his right to allow his daughters to do hairstyles on him, to allow his daughters to play dress up on him, paint his nails, whatever. Those are his daughters, okay? Those are his children. He's actually supposed to be molding them in all aspects of life. You are a teacher, a science teacher, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you teach science. I feel like as a parent, if you're sending your child to school and you're a science teacher, I should be expecting you to teach my child science, not have my child all up close to you, fingers in your hair, which is also, in my opinion, not sanitary. I don't know what you do with your hair. I don't know what you put in there. I don't send my child to school to have their fingers in their teacher's hair. Also, you're a male teacher, okay? And I know that people don't want to hear that. People feel like that's unfair, that it is a double standard to, allow a female teacher to potentially do this than a male teacher. I'm not saying that we should allow female teachers to do this because, again, at the end of the day, you should be teaching my child whatever subject it is that you are certified to teach them that subject. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If I saw a female teacher doing this, while I would still think it's inappropriate, it would be slightly less triggering because she's a female. Male and female interactions, when we're talking about middle schoolers and a grown man, right, are going to trigger people a bit more because obviously men and women are different.
Everything doesn't have to be weird. It's even the way you worded this question. Read this. You're letting your daughters play in a grown man's head. Do you see how you're already trying to spin that? That's very telling of what you have going on upstairs. We as a people have to abandon this idea of, sexual intimacy being tied with getting your hair done. People have this view because typically you're intimate in a sexual manner with someone who does your hair. Automatically, this whole hair video is going to cause some people to be like, oh, where's that? That's weird. But again, it's very telling of your own state of mind.
I don't think we're the weirdos in 2024 when we see and hear all the crazy things that happen in our world, and how a lot of times those inappropriate relations between adults and children start out as a relationship where the child thought that it was someone that they could trust. They thought that this individual was someone that was just in their life, right? Where nothing bad would ever happen. And then that adult abused and used their position in that child's life to take advantage of them. So why are we the weirdos for being extra sensitive to situations like that? Because when those things happen, the questions that are always thrown back to the adults is, how could you let that happen? How did you not think that was weird? Why didn't you think that relationship developing was something odd, right? So of course, people are gonna try to be more aware and more sensitive to how something weird could potentially happen. Now, I'm not saying that this teacher had nefarious intent when having these girls take out his hair. I don't know what's in his heart, so I'm not gonna put that on his jacket. But what I am gonna say is the optics of it are bad, okay? It does not look good. And then I saw another video where, again, he went on TikTok and was crying and reading these messages that his students had sent him.
Our class misses you so much, and we really want you to know that we love you and we miss you so much and can't wait for you to come back. I can't believe that taking somebody's hair out is such a big deal, and it makes me so mad that people make little things big things. I want you to know that the class and others got your back, and we will always stand behind you and out for you no matter what happens. We got you. Again, we miss you and we love you so much, and can't wait for you to come back. I wish that this never happened because it feels like we're losing you.
This is weird to me. I don't know if times have changed, but I remember when I was in the, I want to say 8th grade, right? And I had a music teacher, and he was one of my favorite teachers, and he ended up being transferred to a new school or whatnot. And this was back when like MySpace was just becoming a thing. I don't know if you guys even know what MySpace is. But anyways, MySpace, which was another type of social media platform, was becoming popular. And I remember finding my teacher on MySpace. And I sent him a message like, oh my gosh, Mr. Whatever, I'm so sad that you're leaving or something. I found you on MySpace, and I sent him a friend request. You know what he did? He sent me back a message, and he said, hey, Precious, thanks for the message or whatever. It was great teaching you, something like that. But just have to let you know that as your teacher, I'm not allowed to accept friend requests from my students or really interact with students in that way. So I'm gonna have to decline your friend request, like wish you the best with school and your new teacher and blah, 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 something like that. And at the time, at that age of being 13 or 14, I didn't understand it. Like, I didn't see what the big deal was. I was just like, why? Why can't you be my friend on MySpace, Mr. Teacher? Like, you're my favorite teacher. Like, what's the issue? Now, as a 35-year-old woman looking back on that, I completely understand what he was saying, and I'm impressed with his professionalism and how he handled that. When you're a kid, you don't always understand the potential inappropriate dynamics that you can have with adults, right? Just because a child says, I don't see any issue with it, you're my favorite teacher, I miss you, all that type of stuff, that doesn't mean that it's okay. They're a child. They're a minor for a reason. It is the teacher's responsibility, the adult in the situation, to be the one who sets clear, strong boundaries. The fact that he then took these messages and used this as a sympathy card is, again, weird. Why are your students saying that they love you? How are you even messaging them? Where are these messages coming from? Is this on social media? Is this via text? I don't even care what the platform is. That's weird to me. Again, I don't know if that was just a thing that was weird back in my day where teachers understood the boundaries between students and adults, but it's odd. Some people have said that these parents agreed to this, like the parents okayed for him to put these videos of the children on TikTok or whatever. I don't know if that means the parents okayed him to have the girls undo his hair, or if it was just okay to put the videos on TikTok. I don't know what it is, and honestly, I don't really care. Of course, those parents are allowed to say and do whatever they want to do for their children. But at the end of the day, we're talking about how the situation looks as a whole. I'm looking at it as other teachers or other people who may have nefarious intent looking at this situation thinking, oh, this is a way that I could get more physical interaction and contact with my students because other people have done it. They didn't get in trouble. It seems to be an acceptable thing to do in schools now. So now I'm gonna do this with my students and maybe take it even further. That's how I look at it. I don't think it's a good precedent, a good example to set as a teacher to do this. Whether you're a female or a male, it's not a good example to set as a teacher. But if you're a male especially, come on, it's gonna look extra weird. Let's not act like we don't know why it doesn't look extra weird in our society. The same reason why that question of would you rather have your young daughter be stranded alone in the woods with a man or a bear received such attention and went so viral is because obviously there are different dynamics between men and women. So we can't act like that doesn't play a factor in these kinds of situations. Now, I understand that the superintendent and the school system has decided that he was not found to have been in the wrong enough to be fired and he's allowed to go back. To me, that still doesn't mean that what you did was appropriate. I view that as we took some time to investigate the matter. I'm sure they interviewed the girls. I'm sure they asked people all different kinds of questions. Their investigation concluded you are allowed to go back to school. However, I would be absolutely shocked if that school system said, not only are you allowed to go back to school, but hey, keep doing this to continue to allow your female middle school aged students to take out your hair and do your nails in class. I would be shocked if that was the takeaway message. I'm guessing it was we're gonna allow you to go back to school and teach. However, don't do this again. I don't see any world where he's gonna go back and continue doing this. And if he does, I'm sorry, but you are crazy. You are crazy if you continue to do this. The fact that you still don't see how this could be inappropriate is just kind of wild to me. Now, this is a hair channel. As a natural hair content creator, I do have to acknowledge that hair in the Black community is something that is very important in our culture. Having your hair done by someone else in the community and sharing that experience is like, it's just a very Black experience, right? It's where we get to share stories, it's where we get to make a lot of memories, it's where we get to bond, and I think that's a beautiful thing about Black hair care specifically for us. However, there's a time and a place for everything, right? And while that's a wonderful experience in the Black community, I don't think that is the proper environment or setting for that type of experience. I understand that teachers want to bond with their students and build relationships and rapport, and I think that that is great, and I'm not saying that being a teacher is an easy job. However, it's still a job. And with that job, there are standards and expectations that I think we should have of our teachers. And just because you're a teacher and you want to, bond with your students, I don't think that means you can just do whatever you want to do because it's bonding. Like, there should be lines, clear, appropriate lines that are developed by the adult. I really hope that this individual does not take him being able to go back to school as a permission slip for him to continue to do this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not the principal of that school, nor am I the parents of those children, so I don't know what will be done. But as a society, when we see these type of situations, whether we're involved in it or not, we are always going to lend our opinion as to whether or not we feel that it is appropriate. So I want to hear from you. Do you feel that it is appropriate for a male teacher to have his middle school aged female students undoing his braids during class and painting his fingernails? Do you feel that he should have been fired? Do you agree that he should be allowed to go back, but maybe just given some type of warning or something along those lines? Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic. And as always, please be respectful in the comment section. Until next time, guys, take care of yourself.